This is what happens when your fantasy meets reality. Democrat politicians and other leftists across America, like in the rest of the world, all have these slogans, about open borders and about no human being illegal. But the reality is, if you allow people to break the law by breaking into your country illegally, there's just all of these problems that come from it. And you can put them off to another city sometimes, but you can't put it off forever.
This past year, we saw the highest number of illegal immigrants ever who were apprehended coming across our border. Well, Texas is stepping up, and we have done more than any state has ever done. And there's a reason for it. Texans, as well as our fellow Americans, they are furious about the lawlessness caused by President Biden's open border policies. And they should be angry about that. And it's because of that I declared border security to be an emergency item this session for us to not only address, but to address quickly because of the need for us to be even more proactive to deal with the border. There are several reasons why we need to be more proactive. The upcoming elimination of Title 42 is going to be bringing even more people across our border. It is expected to expire in May. According to federal estimates themselves, they said that once Title 42 is eliminated, we can expect up to 18,000 people crossing the border a day. Calculate that, and that would be more than 6 million people crossing the border a year.
The problem of illegal migration in the modern era is just a problem that every country has to face. There's obviously legal migration routes we all have, but illegal migration is something everybody has to deal with because, as I've often said, you either have borders or you don't. And if you don't have borders, you don't really have a country. And now it's a few tens of thousands, and mainly young men in hotels, $500 a night hotels, which were, promptly becoming, pretty dangerous and lawless places. And the city couldn't afford just keeping on putting up every illegal migrant in a hotel, and is now trying to bus them to different facilities. One group is trying to bus some of them to the Canadian border.
What's different is what's coming across here. It's controlled, but it's not controlled by the Mexican government. It's not controlled by the American government. It's controlled by the cartel. The individuals who cross illegally on this border, in this region, come in camouflaged outfits. The Sinaloa cartel controls who comes across and the amount of drugs that come across. This is a fundamental problem. But it's the problem that's created by this administration. We've only been in the majority for 2 months. The freshman member that I brought here, they have done more in 4 weeks of looking at the border than the president has done in 40 years. The administration, on the day President Biden was sworn in, when you look at the gaps in the wall, why are they there? Why are these lights wired but not working? Because we got a new president that said to stop it. We paid for the metal to go up, but it's stored far away. There's gaps that allow it to come in. That's wrong.
We immediately surged to the border.
This past year, we saw the highest number of illegal immigrants ever who were apprehended coming across our border.
There's a rolling humanitarian crisis happening.
The perception is that globally, migrants believe that the border is wide open and that the immigration and border laws are not going to be enforced.
How many bodies are recovered on these pathways? How many bodies are recovered near the American border? There is a lot of death.
You cannot put the politics over the national security of the country. And unfortunately, that's what this administration has done time and time again.